My name is Morgan and I'm a birth mom. I got pregnant at 17 and I was still in high school, so I felt very ashamed of myself. So I hid my pregnancy. For 9 months, I stayed alone and I distanced myself from a lot of people and I hid it from my family, my friends, my parents. Only a couple people knew, which one of them was my teacher in high school. She's the one who actually talked to me about adoption and let me know what adoption was. I think I still had like this perception, like everybody else has, where you think that somebody just comes and takes your baby and you never see them again, and then they find you when they turn 18. I think that's what kind of my perception was. Lifetime movies is what I thought of whenever I thought of adoption. When I got to the hospital, they asked me a lot of questions. And I said, well, I want to place him for adoption. And then that's when they were like, okay. And so they asked me, do you want him placed on your chest when he was born? And I said, no. They said, do you want to hold him? I said, no. So he was born. They told me it was a boy. And I remember crying even more because I was like, I've always wanted a boy. I don't have any brothers. They said they knew about one adoption agency. So right after that, they called him, and Deaconess showed up. People suspected I was pregnant, and then they knew I was no longer pregnant. And so when I would tell them, they kind of called me selfish or said that I was just trying to get out of being a mom. And I was tell them, no, I'm not. I made this decision for him because I wanted him to have a life that I couldn't give him. I wanted him to have the best life. So I chose adoption so that this 17-year-old girl could grow up and be the person that he needed. So that's what I did. The adoption agency had support groups every month at the time. And so I would go and I felt not alone anymore. There were people around me that understood what I was going through and could understand my emotions. And I didn't feel alone. I didn't feel judged. I started getting families sent to me. I guess I was looking for a flaw because I was like, well, maybe if I find a flaw, I don't have to do this. I can just bring him home with me and we'll figure it out from there. But I couldn't find any flaws in them. I was like, they're wonderful. And we met. And again, I left and I was like, they're perfect. It was like, they're absolutely amazing. It would never felt like they were strangers. They asked me if I wanted to come to his first birthday. And I was so excited. At the time, I would just sit there and I would just watch him. Just for a moment, I got to be a part of their lives. And it was literally like the best thing in the whole world. So he's always known me as his birth mom. He's never known me as anything else. After I placed my son, I said, I want to help the world. I want to help change the world in every way that I can. And so I decided I wanted to be a social worker. I wanted to work with pregnant women, pregnant teens specifically. I feel like they get this stigma and this label, and I just kind of wanted to help them through that. Now that I'm married, I have one kid. I am pregnant, so I'm going to have another one. And life has been good. Life is good now. I still see my son as much as I can. It's not as often because he's getting older and he has a life. When I had my daughter, I told people I felt like this was my first Mother's Day 2 years ago when I had her, because I never felt like a mom. I always felt like a birth mom. I felt like I am not the one who picks you up whenever you're hurt. I'm not the one you go to crying when you need something. He has a mom, and I'm your birth mom. So that means I'm here when you need me. I am here if you want to talk. I am here for the fun. I am here for the games. Being a mom, a birth mom, I had to make that choice of what was best for you and not what was best for me. Is putting my own self aside. So I might describe adoption as hard, because it is hard, but there's so much love. I mean, regardless of how hard it is, I don't know anybody who ever says that they don't love their kid. It's just hard. It's just different, but it's still love.